Have you ever been in a situation where something just didn't feel right? It's not the loudest, it's not the most obvious sometimes, but it just still didn't really sit right in your heart, and yet you still stayed anyway instead of walking away? I think probably one of the hardest things that people can admit is probably this. Sometimes we know, like we know that it's not right. You notice the signs, you feel the discomfort, and you even notice like the small little patterns. But then we're just thinking in our minds, maybe it'll change, maybe we're just overthinking. It'll be better, it'll get better. But what if that feeling isn't exactly confusion though? What if it's actually conviction? Something in your body that's telling you, hey, this ain't right, or your spirit. You feel conviction because something in you is telling you something's not sitting right with you about this. Something ain't right about it. You gotta go. It's basically a quiet warning that you keep ignoring. It's like an argument with yourself. One thing is saying this really isn't that bad. The other thing is saying you know this isn't bringing you peace, but it feels better to stay. But it's tearing you apart the longer you stay. So I guess the thing is, why is it that we stay in things that we know just isn't right for us? Is it comfortability? Or could it be a fear? Because sometimes even unhealthy situations can feel familiar. But that's where experience comes in. But in that moment, sometimes we don't think on it. It could just be a fear that we're dwelling on. Perhaps it's the fear of starting over, the fear of the unknown, or probably the biggest one, the fear of being alone. We hold on to what things could be instead of what it actually is. You could be living in a fantasy where you picture this going this way, but it's really not what it is in the moment. Now, I'm not saying that, like, let's say like a business thing or something. Obviously, in the moment, in the present moment, it may not be the way it looks, but you see what it could be, or potentially like business-wise, you know what I'm saying? Basically what I'm saying is that there's like different scenarios for this. Like for business-wise, you can see the possibility of what it could be while also seeing that you're not exactly there yet. Phase 1 or phase 2, but you're not at phase 3 yet, if that makes sense. I'm thinking more in terms of like relationships and whatnot. Looking at the Bible, we got 1 Corinthians 14:33. For God is not a God of confusion, but of peace. It doesn't mean that life is gonna be easy. Life is life. It's gonna get you, okay? It's gonna have ups. It's gonna have a lot of downs. But constant uneasiness in you, like if you feel uneasy all the time, I think it's time to reassess your situation and trying to figure out, why do I feel this way? Did something just don't feel right about it? Something I learned about a sermon I watched yesterday. Change your strategy. Because maybe this strategy worked for this person, but it may not work for you. Where in your life do you feel a lack of peace, but you keep ignoring it? Right now, the lack of peace I feel is just from the fact that I kind of stopped giving myself love or doing the things that I like to do. So it's like, that's where I'm lacking in the peace field. It's just discipline for me. But if I was to speak on something that was like from way back then, like my past or something, I was in a relationship where I was very uncomfortable with it, and even just with religion and whatnot too. It was weird to me. Obviously there's different religions, but the one that I was like kind of going into, it didn't really sit right with me, and I felt uncomfortable. But because of what I felt for this person, I was just doing whatever it is they wanted to do because I didn't want to lose them. So, but that was at the time though. Obviously times have changed. I'm stronger now. I know what I want. Key thing for me right now is just to do more of what I love to do and to stop letting myself get so distracted. Are you staying because it's right or because it's comfortable? Because it's comfortable. Because I'm scared of what might happen if I just walked away. Again, I'm just thinking more of like the past like thing. In the moment, it was just more comfortable to stay because I didn't want to be alone. Like, I really didn't want to be alone. Now, I'm gonna be honest, now I embrace being alone. Like, being alone, it's great. It's freaking fantastic. But whenever I have time to myself now, it's like, heck yeah. Yes. I'm not saying I don't want to be around my wife. Definitely not saying that. But whenever I'm alone though, that's more time for me to do the things that I like to do. Or more time for me to like be me, do me. But at the time, it felt comfortable because I didn't want nothing more than just, well, for one, to have someone, even if they definitely was not the right person, because I was afraid of being alone. I didn't want to let myself, feel the way I felt for quite some time. Lonely. There's a difference between being alone or being lonely. What are you afraid would happen if you walked away? If I walked away, I feel like if I had walked away, at the time, when I was thinking, if I had walked away, I was scared of the unknown. I didn't know what was gonna happen. That's the scariest thing about the future. You just never know what's gonna happen. Obviously, the past is the past. You can't change it, but you can build towards your future, no matter how scary it is. People will say that they're scared of being rejected or feeling rejection or this, that, and the third. But you gotta understand something. I'm gonna use this example. Don't quote me on this, but pregnancy. The baby is comfortable in there. They're getting all food into the tube, and then when the female body is ready to, release the baby, it's the body rejecting the baby out. The babies don't want to be out. They were comfortable. How I see rejection is based as a way of birth. Rejection is not a way of death, it's birth. One way of rejection is birthing another way of something meant for your life. At the time, when I walked away, I was scared of what was to come. But now, I'm learning to just let things be the way they are. I'm gonna keep building towards my future. I don't know what's gonna happen, but hey, you know what? I'm gonna still trust the one above that's leading the way. Is your hope based on reality or just potential? Me personally, I feel like that's gotta be a balance. Because if you look at reality too much, then it'll start affecting your mind looking at the reality, my finances is so bad. I'm never gonna get the money. I'm never gonna find a way to pay this off or do this or that. I'm never gonna find the man or the woman of my dreams. I'm gonna be lonely for the rest of my life. Try seeing the potential. See the potential that, yes, you are gonna financially break through. Yes, you are gonna find your person. It's like one of those things I keep saying, what if I don't make it? What if you do? I feel like reality, staying in the moment is good, but you also gotta, have a dream. Have a dream, see a goal. Something else I learned. There's a mission for the vision. The mission is to do this thing, but the vision is how are you gonna get there? To get to that point. How much is staying costing you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually? It was bad. At the time, it was bad. Mentally, it was too much. She was changing me so much, to the point where I couldn't even recognize? I couldn't recognize myself for a while. And it took a lot of therapy and praying to be able to get back to that point again. I was still trying to walk the worldly road, but God kept bringing me back because I realized that, the worldly road is not the road for me. I can't do it. It ain't for me. I'm not the kind of guy that want to go clubbing, partying, drinking, smoking, or even hooking up with people. I'm not that kind of person. No matter how much I wanted to be that person, it just never sat right with me. I couldn't do it. It was costing me a lot until finally I found my edge again. And then I realized that honestly, it's up to me on what it is that I want to do with my life, on how I let the world affect me. Because at the end of the day, the only opinion that really matters is God's. Let's be so for real. So staying in whatever situation that you know is wrong, it's gonna cost you unless you're into whatever that you're going through. That I mean, hey, that's you. Walking away isn't always giving up. Sometimes it's about choosing what's right over what's familiar. It may not feel right in the moment, but what do you think's the right thing to do? Sometimes the right thing may be the hardest choice to make, but it could be the most beneficial choice. I'm gonna just come out and say it. Some people aren't exactly confused. They're just avoiding the decision that they don't want to make. Now, I'm not saying also that every hard decision you gotta leave. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is you shouldn't ignore something that you already know. Because the longer you stay somewhere where you don't have peace, the harder it's gonna be to walk away. And sometimes the most spiritual thing that you can do is let it go. Now I'm starting to think about the Frozen movie. I ain't seen that in a while. I might go watch it tonight. I don't know. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this time. I'll see you all next time. Have a good day. Sayonara.